Earthquake. How does it happen? What is the scientific reason for its cause? What should you do if an earthquake happens in your area? An earthquake is the sudden shaking of the Earth's surface. It is caused by the release of energy at the Earth's crust and movements in Earth's outermost layer. Even though the Earth looks like solid and smooth at the surface which we look every day, but it is very active below the outer layer. As you know, our Earth is made up of 4 layers, namely inner core, outer core, mantle and crust. Core is the inner layer and most central part, mantle is a middle layer and crust is the outer layer or the surface. The top of the mantle and the crust together creates a skin on the surface of our planet. But this skin is not totally in one piece beneath the upper surface or ground. It is made of many pieces that cover the surface of the Earth together, just like a puzzle. And the pieces always keep moving, bumping and sliding over each other. These moving pieces are called tectonic plates. When the pieces are moving, since the edge of the plates is rough, it may get stuck while the rest of the plate is moving. This continuous movement creates stress on the crust. When the stress gets very high, it leads to cracks that are called faults. Then, while the edges of plates stuck together, and the rest of the block keeps moving, the energy that would make blocks to slide over each other is stored up. When finally the force of moving blocks overcomes the friction from the jagged edge of the fault, the edges unstuck on one of the fault and all that stored up energy is released. That energy radiates outwards from the fault in all direction as a seismic wave. The seismic waves shake the Earth when travels through it. When this wave reach the Earth's surface, it shake the ground and anything on it. This could damage cities, buildings, infrastructures and also cause death of humans. But not all earthquakes have damaging impact. The damage depends on the size of earthquake happened. The size of an earthquake depends on the size of the fault that occurs many kilometers deep beneath the surface of the Earth. This means, if the fault created from the friction at the edge of plate boundaries is larger, the size of the earthquake will also be larger. And the size of an earthquake is called its magnitude. The impact of an earthquake differs from the level of magnitude recorded. An earthquake is measured by seismometer, which detects the seismic wave that travels through Earth and records them as a series of zigzag. An earthquake with magnitude up to 2.0 has almost no impact and it may not even heard or realized by many. An earthquake with a magnitude up to 4.5 could be heard by many, and the shock could be realized by most peoples around the area, but impact on objects at the surface may not be such damaging. A magnitude of 6 to 7.5 earthquakes is very strong, could damage houses, villages, cities and various infrastructure. An earthquake with magnitude 8.5 and above would have disastrous impact. The largest earthquake ever recorded anywhere on the Earth was a magnitude 9.5 earthquake in Chile on May 22, 1960. That earthquake occurred on a fault that is almost 1,000 miles long and 150 miles wide, dipping into the Earth at a shallow angle. Scientists have not put a limit on how large an earthquake could be, but there is a limit based on the size of the Earth. According to the geological studies, magnitude 12 earthquake would require a fault larger than the Earth itself. Since there is none, an earthquake would not happen at such level of magnitude. When an earthquake is happening, what you need to do to be safer depends on the area you are found. If you are indoors, stay there, and it's better to be at the corner, drop to the floor and try to make yourself smaller as much as possible. If you are outside, get into an open area, stay away from trees and buildings, walls and power lines. But if you are in a high building, move away from windows, and outside the walls, stay away from elevators and get under table. If an earthquake happens when you are driving, stop your car to the roadside, avoid power lines and overpasses, and stay inside your car. Cover your head and neck with your hand and arms. We may not be able to avoid an earthquake before it happens. But we could make preparation and know what to do when it is happening to minimize risk. By the way, earthquakes also happened in the moon too. Scientists have measured quakes on Earth's moon, and saw evidences that show seismic activity on Mars, Venus and many moons of Jupiter too.